who are some day 2 cornerbacks the Niners could target? You mentioned one already from this football factory that is University of Cincinnati. Damn.
Yeah, Kobe Bryant. He's a guy. He might not have as much twitch as I typically would like, but he was definitely a player who, he did a lot of things very well. Maybe not a guy that the athleticism, like the upside, isn't quite there with what the 49ers typically like from their corners. I mean, if you look at Ambry Thomas, like he was a freak athletically. If you look at even a guy that they got undrafted
back in the day,
Keller Willispoon. People don't realize this, but Keller Willispoon was 6'3", 200 pounds, and ran a 4.45 at the combine. Like that's terrific speed. So I don't know if Kobe Bryant kind of fits that mold, but I'm definitely intrigued by him. A guy I could potentially see at 61 if they want to go that route, Roger Mccrary out of Auburn. He didn't run very well at the combine. He ran a 4.55. And for a guy that is 5'11", 185 pounds, so he's kind of slight built, you want to see that speed element. And then he has another knock against him. He has some of the shortest arms I've ever seen. I mean, they were like 28 and a half inches, like something crazy like that, where teams want 32-inch. There are some teams, if it ain't 32-inch, they don't want you.
The Niners are sort of like that.
Yeah, they'll 31 inches, but his was like 28, 29 inches. Now, his film is really good. Okay. Really good. I mean, he was able to run vertically with guys. The technique was good. He challenged guys. He made some plays on the ball. Reminds me a lot of Damon Arnett, though, in the sense of I really like Arnett's film, but I thought he'd be a late day 2 guy based on how he measured in, and you can live with whatever happens. Raiders drafted him in the first round, and it just did not work out. Maybe off the field issues. He was trying to kill people and stuff like that. I don't think Roger Mccrary is going
in the way. Yeah, absolutely.
Now another corner, potentially day 2, and I think I saw someone
stuff like that. That was hella funny. Keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, he tried to kill people.
Got some distractions.
Gosh, where's my guy out of Clemson?
Hold on, let's go back to Kobe Bryant real quick. Okay, I like Kobe Bryant. Let's stick with Kobe Bryant. I'm looking at him. So he started opposite Sauce Gardner, which is interesting. When I was a kid,
and won the Thorpe Award. The Thorpe Award, best corner in the nation or DB in the nation.
I mean, everyone's afraid of Sauce Gardner, so they're targeting Kobe Bryant. He's gotten targeted a lot. He had 9 picks in college. He had 4 picks in 2020.
Well, the crazy thing is, for a while, he was the bigger name. Like it was Kobe Bryant, and Sauce Gardner just came on kind of because, the size, the athleticism. So he's definitely the much better prospect. But originally, Kobe Bryant was kind of the guy people leaned on.
Okay. And the Niners, you think they could get him, what, 93? 104?
I think 61.
61. Okay.
But, after that, it's kind of tough because the 49ers, they pick so far in between.
Okay. All right. Sorry, I cut you off. So are there any other corners you like?
Yeah, Damore Mathis out of Clemson. He's a guy that, blew away the combine with his 40-yard time, jumped out the building at the pro day with his vertical jump. Broad jump was crazy. His mom kind of called me out and was like, hey, y'all not mentioning my son enough. And I was like, dang, my bad. I talked about him at the Senior Bowl. I thought he did a terrific job. He wasn't one of my focus players, but when you just looked at how he was competing, challenging guys in one-on-one, the hips, challenging guys at the catch point, I thought he did a terrific job there. I watched him on film and, again, saw some really good stuff. Now, dang, there was another corner I watched after him who I thought was just a little bit better of a prospect. Oh, the corner out of Alabama. He has 3 names. Amore Davis, number 5. He's another guy. Both of these guys ran in the 4.3s, so they could fly from that standpoint. Davis, I think, Amore Davis, I think that's a guy 49ers really would like, whether it's at 61 or maybe at some point in the 3rd round. We'll see if he goes that far, but I thought his technique was on point. Didn't have quite as much twitch as I ideally would like, but again, I thought another guy who was really good. I think the Mathis kid from Pittsburgh, I think he had a little bit more twitch to his game and also tested through the roof. Maybe kind of reminds me a little bit of my guy Marco Wilson, who was drafted out of Florida the year prior.
Can any of these guys play in the slot? Because that's kind of important for this team.
Mathis was a guy that they worked in the slot at the Senior Bowl.
Okay.
So he worked inside and outside.
Okay. I got a name for you. What about 5'8" dude from Houston, Marcus Jones?
He's another guy that a lot of 49er fans is kind of they latch on to this name and it's like, oh, they got to get him. And I think he's the guy that they've latched on to. But again, you talked about the special teams aspect that the 49ers are desperately needing. We'll see if the receiver they signed is that guy. But Marcus Jones, he had a game. I watched him live, not live, but like watching it live on television against Alec Pierce. And I thought it was a really good battle, especially for a guy who is 5'8". He's not the biggest of guys, but Pierce got him late, touchdown, dunked on him. But he also, Jones also broke up a couple passes vertically down the field. So, he has some good stuff. He can line up inside, outside. I think because he's shorter, people are definitely going to pigeonhole him into being just a pure slot cornerback. But, he is a guy that I like.